Welcome to court, and welcome back to Let's Play Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Last time, I'm still a little salty. I don't know, it just... Some things just seem a bit weird, like... You know, it was kind of strange that out of the blue we find out that, you know, Apollo and Trucy are related. And Lamoire, I mean, the Lhasa Grammary is their mother. And we never did find out what was going on with Gavin's Psyche-Locks, Christoph Gavin's Psyche-Locks. I don't know, maybe he'll be a witness in court and we'll break it down. Yeah, I'm just... I don't know. Let's just see where this is heading. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant Vera Misham innocent or guilty? The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? So did Apollo see all of this, or something inside me rising, surfacing? I mean, there's also the fact that, like, oh wait, something important. Lost long ago. It's close now. So close. Yeah, the fact that Zach essentially gave his life so that people wouldn't suspect Valent of foul play, even though Valent was guilty of foul play. It just... no. It's... Yeah, like he essentially turned himself in, but still, it's just like... Wait, did he turn himself in, or was it implied he would? No, it was more so implied, or... I don't think he flat out said he would. I don't know, I'm still floored by all of that, man. It was... Eh. But really, did Apollo see all of that, or is this just like dramatic irony in that only the jury knows this? No, we don't have any of those things. Like the new stuff. Yeah, we still haven't even got to the bottom of why, like, stuff pertaining to the trials was drawn underneath the paintings. I don't know. Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Misham. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock. Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant? Vera Misham's condition? Acute atroquinine poisoning, according to her physician. She could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the courtroom today. What? They can't put her on trial without her being here. It is unusual. They should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them. It's being a little harsh. They can't delay the trial any longer, or they risk having no one left to try. A trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right. If Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. I'm not going to let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain all these years. He has. I'm going to give Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time. Very well. Your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin. The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done. But Vera was poisoned with ultraquinine, the exact same poison that took her father's life. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have had access to the poison. Significant, since it's rather hard to come by. That is true. In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had our verdict yesterday. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone a verdict. What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Misham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you have to prove something. She was in court, giving her testimony before us. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her mystery killer was. The prosecution's objection is sustained. Ask the defense to prove its claims to this court. Tell us how Vera Misham was poisoned. I've got two things to prove here. Who did it and how? Which to hit first? Okay, well, show how. How did the killer poison Vera Misham? I'll focus first on the method used. Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin? Not a bottle or container of the poison was found on the defendant's body. I see. So the vector of poisoning is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove how the poison reached Vera Misham? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. What method was used to poison Vera Misham? Well, it was the only thing she had with her. No, I have this from the cell. What? Wait. So it's a mix of things from the trial and what we got from Phoenix? What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand. Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all. So the killer put poison in this bottle and made her drink it? As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish. Nail polish? It's like paint for nails. Know any women with red nails? My wife has red nails. I see. So she's been painting them all this time. Wow, Judge. Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying to the court? Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails. Her nails? Prosecutor Gavin? When the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails? Bailiff, have them check the defendant's nails at once. Mr. Justice. Yes? Do you know who did this? Do you know who put poison in that nail polish? Yes. That bottle belongs to Vera Misham. Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? No, just checking. Mr. Justice, you are about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of this accusation. Here, let me show you. Understood, Your Honor. No problem. I know what I'm doing this time. Then let us ask, who poisoned Vera Misham via her nail polish? Thank you for starting me off right there. Who else we got here? Well, what's this? Christoph Gavin? Objection! That's your game, my bro. There's no way he could do a thing like that. You should know that better than anyone else. Indeed. He is behind bars. I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. But ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. Could have been yesterday. Could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago? Or perhaps it was 7 years ago. But Christoph Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable. Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. That face tells me one thing. Christoph Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there is a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christoph Gavin from jail as a special witness. Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay. The defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand. Bailiff, begin proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 at Central Prison. Okay, so he is going to take the stand. We about to break them psyche locks, dog. Your Honor, how nice to see you again. It's been quite a while, hasn't it? To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never. I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin. Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself. Ack. Why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss? Stiff upper lip, Apollo. You can do it. Does this bottle look familiar? Ariadne nail polish? Why, yes. I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear. She's not dead yet. And? Was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit, I respect her for her taste in nail polish. Her taste, indeed. This nail polish was how Vera Mission was poisoned. Ultra quinine. Was it? You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin. Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier, maybe you can explain this? You're being accused again. By him again. Ah. And? You agree with his accusation, do you? Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please. I'd be delighted. Charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant, Vera Misham. Please testify on this matter to the court. Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I have been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father and then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father too. Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely. Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Mishams. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? Very well, Mr. Justice. Begin your cross-examination. I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss. But I know he poisoned the Mishams. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why? Ooh. Bracelet is going in. Let's see. Actually, maybe I should just press on these. Can't you still make contact with the outside world in solitary? Ah, so you had an accomplice on the outside? Is this your latest accusation? I'm allowed a certain modicum of letter writing. But the contents of those letters are closely checked. It would be extremely difficult to send a hit request. Prosecutor Gavin's on the warpath, isn't he? Yeah, you think so too, Trucy? Bet I know why. Must be nervous with Big Brother watching. Maybe that's a weakness I can turn to my advantage. Are we cool with that? May I continue? Maybe there's something here. Still can't see anything. The defendant is not dead yet. There are no known cases of someone surviving ultraquinine poisoning. You seem to know a lot about ultraquinine. I know a lot about a lot of things, which is why I suggest we pick up the pace. Or else you'll be short one defendant for what she's worth. Witness will refrain from speaking ill of the... ill. My apologies, shall I continue? Vera had no reason to want to commit suicide. And also, who would commit suicide by doing their nails? The answer is quite simple, basically. Allow me to explain, beginning with, why did she do it? The answer is quite simple. She couldn't live with her own guilt. Next, why did she use nail polish to poison herself? This too is simple, so she could die doing something that she liked. Something that she liked? Once she saw that the trial wasn't going her way, she knew she would die. And it's not easy to bring poison into a courtroom. Must I explain further? I believe that's clear enough. Crystal clear. Wow, the two brothers together is like a two-man wrecking team. They could use a little more teamwork, though. Both Vera and Mr. Mission were poisoned with ultraquinine. That really can't be a coincidence. The defense is repeating fallacious statements based on conjecture. The prosecution requests concrete, unambiguous proof of the witness's crime. Objection sustained. Defense will please present concrete proof. Does Prosecutor Gavin seem strange to you too? It's like he's all grown up. I think that's how prosecutors are supposed to be, actually. Though he is acting different than usual. I bet it has a lot to do with his brother Kristoff being in the room. Well, let's make this testimony count, Apollo. Right, quick and painless. That bracelet should do the trick. Okay, I'm questioning my ex-boss. His testimony seems watertight, but he's lying. I'm sure I'll be able to see something, as long as I focus. Oof. Oh my god, a skull? Was showing up there?
Gotcha!
I was trying to sort of focus on his fingers there, but... Because, like, I didn't see his face, you couldn't see his other hand. So maybe, like, it would be a twitch of his fingers, but... No, it was a skull on his scar. I didn't even know he had a scar on his hand. It was you who killed Drew Misham. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Why when you said her father, too? Your hand tensed unnaturally. A little devil appeared to give me the news. And? Let's assume for the sake of argument that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Misham fond of nail polish too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get to someone's mouth. Ah. Then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Misham was killed on October 6th, while I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what is. But you found a way all the same. And I found it too. Ooh, he mad. This is how you poison Mr. Misham. Where's the stamp? I mean, we got the frame, but no, it was the stamp itself. I'm sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. The night Mr. Misham died, he was seen writing a letter. Ultraquinine was found on this stamp, Mr. Gavin. So am I to understand this stamp was the murder weapon? Oh, so am I to understand this stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes, the stamp was found in your prison cell. That is all, Your Honor. Order! 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 Put poison on the back of that stamp! After Drew Misham was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright. Daddy? That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Misham write you a letter. That's how you killed him. What? My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need to do is recall witness Spark Brushell's testimony. How do you know his testimony? Oh, that's the thing, see, after he put his letter in that envelope. Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. His desk drawer? Yes, a stamp. A so-called postage stamp, end quote. He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp. What are you getting at? What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was mere coincidence that he used it that night. That would seem to be the case. Perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence? He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder. What? Really, Clavier? You should be seeing through these weak-spined bluffs by now. He's right, though. How could anyone have known Mr. Misham would use that stamp that night? Least of all, Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell. Well, it seems that the defense has run out of things to say. You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called. The defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph. Clavier? Honestly, I've wanted to believe you, but the defense wasn't trying to get away with the bluff. You were, Christoph. What are you saying, Prosecutor Gavin? Hair forehead. What was your accusation again? Huh? Oh, it was that this poison stamp killed Drew Misham, yeah? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Misham would use the stamp. Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned. Tell me. It needs to be planned. Why? Why couldn't have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Misham died by that stamp. That's all. Coincidence? Christoph tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is it? What are you up to, Clavier? I could ask you the same question, Christoph. I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency. But Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony. Very well. I shall take his claim head on then. Justice? What? You accuse me of Drew Misham's murder, yes? Then, allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have to kill a painter? Apollo, motive. He's talking about a motive. Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter. Now here's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose. So, what does it mean? It means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive. A motive for murder. This is a vital, if not the most vital element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement. I'd say it's about this vital. That's pretty vital. Well, Mr. Justice, I'm going through with this no matter what. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence. Then let's see what you have for us. What reason did Christoph Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Misham? The forged paintings. It has to be this then, the forged document, because he was their client. Okay, Christoph Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Misham's studio in the first place. And why was that? Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Misham accepts his first job creating forged evidence. I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnifique Grammary's diary. Ah, when attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge. Yes. This was the evidence he presented to his loss. This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request a forgery be made? That was never proven. The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright, who, other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it. And why would they? Just out of curiosity, you remember this letter? This is the first page. And this is the second. Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Misham by the client who requested that forgery. The enclosed stamp was none other than the poison commemorative stamp. Drew Misham drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old? The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery, to keep them from talking? But he made a mistake. The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed within a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Her forehead. Do you understand what you're telling us? The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp. And it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Misham was none other than Phoenix Wright. But the stamp was found in his cell. Thank you, sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Oh? Then how will it go down? I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began. Oh boy. Here. What's this? I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. And one more thing. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. Understand I am asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. The day before? Now here's a question. Just who was Shadi Enigmar's previous defense attorney? No, this can't all be. But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christoph Gavin. Order! 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 What is the meaning of this? Defendant, or former lawyer. Let me begin by denying this. Objection! It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin. And impossible to prove if you can't. Attorneys are registered with the court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim? It would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield. Objection! Hair forehead. Are you sure you don't have evidence? What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy. Evidence. Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Clavier. Just prove it. Clear up these doubts now, or I swear I'm off this case. He must have thought of some evidence. Apollo. Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him, and proof is the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Mission? Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Mission 7 years ago. Prove it. It can be proven. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not. Objection! Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? I am. Then, I say we give him the benefit of the doubt. Very well, but if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty. Objection! Your Honor, you do the defense an injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice? Fine, Your Honor. All I have to prove is any kind of link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Mission. And I have something that clearly does the job. Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. Show us the link between our witness and Drew Mission. Surely it would be the letter from Mission. Like, from Mission, found in the solitary cell. Come on. I mean, I feel like this is a trick question, but it shouldn't be? Yeah. This evidence proves there's a link. Objection! That? Scrap of paper? I'm afraid I can't let you submit that. Is there some problem? There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't. Hey, that's Daddy's handwriting. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright's handwriting? What is the meaning of this? I see now. Yes. Of course. What do you mean, of course? I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright? When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail. Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell? No. However, it appears Mr. Wright is yet to be cured of his bad forging habit. Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting's terrible. This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter. Reproduction? Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell. He brought with him a small video camera. What? He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin, and the contents of your personal mail. Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery. Prosecutor Gavin? Prosecutor Gavin? As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please. The defense's claim is denied. What? Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record. Better luck next time, Justice. Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination, but the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point. Apollo, do something! I'm thinking, but without evidence, I don't have anything I can use on him. Well, then show the camera footage. Very well, this ends the special witness's cross-examination.
Objection!
The show's over, yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why. Prosecutor Gavin? Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years. And I'm tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Christoph? Clavier, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavier. Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember. What's really important to you? You amuse me, Hair Forehead. I couldn't forget what's really important to me, even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago. Finally, you just couldn't resist, could you, Hair Wright? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? But I recall we put the current cross-examination on hold. Prosecution would like to call a new witness. State your name and occupation for the record. I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times. Didn't you find anything unnatural about it? Unnatural? Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence, and the next moment you call in Drew Misham. It was almost as if... what? It was choreographed? Scheduled? Funny, it didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence. Ah, correct. I knew it. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with the forged diary page, so he's an accessory. Don't do this, Clavier. I knew because you told me, Christophe. What? If the trial was the night before, or if it was the night before the trial, Clavier, Christophe, I'd seen you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. Ah, I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Huh? Why not? I won't be facing off with you in your first round, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information. Information? The attorney who will be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen. I want you to call in a special witness. Then... I wondered about it at the time. How did Christophe know so much? Prosecutor Gavin. Christophe. We were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserve that much. You've let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all of your research on the DC cases, I mean. Why can I not read? Why can I not read today? The victim's belongings, which would have included Magnafie's diary, wouldn't it? Mr. Gavin? My, Clavier, you disappoint me. You find treasures yet miss the forest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this monster under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me, what was going on behind that trial? Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing. Apollo! I think we're finally going to shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Gramarye. Two cards. One card. Showdown time. Enough. You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as representation because I lost in the game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion. Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete. Zach wasn't watching his points or the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Christophe Gavin. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright? A second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. He dismissed me, and with that pitiful excuse for a man, he deserved to die for that error alone. Hold it. So the ones who requested that forgery was... Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these two men shamed me. I cannot forgive that. Phoenix Wright and Zach Gramery both deserved what they got. So you asked Mr. Misham to forge that evidence so you could win? But then, when you were dismissed as Zach and Gramery's attorney, used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Sorry for semi-dozing off here. Then you gave... I apologize for half dozing off here. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. For everything, the event went perfectly. He's laughing? Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd veep. Prosecutor Gavin? Perfectly. You're mad, Christoph. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Clavier? Tell me, how did that trial end? Cancelled? When the defendant vanished? Ah, I get it. So, Christoph, you've been living in fear for 7 years. What? You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance. So you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years. You know, he always felt like he was being watched. That's why he said every day. For 7 years. I felt it too. Colonel sure is being watched, end quote. Don't you worry why Zach Gramery got rubbed out for 7 years? Well, wait a minute. Zach Gramery was seen by this reporter? How is that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years? Finally. I knew this moment was coming. Just didn't think we'd get there so fast. Alright, I'm back. Zach Gramery, gone missing for 7 years. Trucy's father. What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him. Right. Leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler. I remember him quite well. Shoddy Smith, was it? Poison in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic. Details don't really matter right now. What matters is that that traveler was Zach Gramery. What is it, Apollo? Huh? Keep going. We'll talk about it later. Did she already know? Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this? It all started 7 years ago. The great magician Magnifi Gramery's death started it. Magnifi Gramery's death and his student Zach Gramery the suspect. Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. Drew Misham? Actually, it was his daughter Vera who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Precautions? To keep people from talking, of course. These two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you planned your poisoning of the foragers. Ultraquinine. Applied to a commemorative stamp. But... luck was on Mr. Misham's side. The bomb didn't go off. His daughter. She saved him by taking the stamp. I see. But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Ariadne nail polish, of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery? When Vera Misham is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails. Ah! That nail polish was her good luck charm. She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been, well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. The person gave me a good luck charm for when I absolutely had to go outside. It protects me. Yes, apparently she received something. A gift. She won't tell me what it is. It was from that client, the one who wanted that note made. Sorry about my lack of reading skills right now. It was his insurance. Insurance? As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. But what if she had to go outside? If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest. His time bombs sat there for 7 years. And then, they were caught almost simultaneously. If you're finished, and return to my cell now. I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time. Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing we've said? Oh, I listened quite close to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction. What? Clavier, since surely you understand. We're back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the Ultraquinine that took Drew Misham's life. Objection! What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Gramery. To keep him from talking. Let's try again, shall we? Boy, it's like I can go in like bursts of 30 seconds. I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shoddy Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive. Objection! Okay, then why did you kill him? I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Misham, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial has been finished for 6 months now. I'm afraid we have strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It's defendant Vera Misham who is on trial here. No, but you were doing so good, Apollo. As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this course of inquiry cannot find Vera Misham innocent. Objection! Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence. Objection! You still don't get it, do you? Let's assume there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Mission to bite her nails? What? It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you. What? What? From the questioning? Evidence is everything. There is nothing more. I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion. Your Honor, Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well. However, oh yeah, that was from him. However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavier? Unfortunately, yes. Christophe, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now. What? Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are in this courtroom today. This is the trial case for a new judicial system. That's right. I totally forgotten. The Jurist System. Jurists, you say? The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law. Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of a joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers? Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense. There's only room for two in this court. Me and the law. Keep the riffraff out. Out, I say. They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera. How can you allow this? Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen was Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright? So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right. 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 There's the breakdown. Hey, what happened to your hair, man? I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You'd let ignorant swine soil your courts? Christophe, it's over. Clavier! The law is absolute? You can't be serious. What? Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions. The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge. Like a gem polished to a gleam through trials and errors, it is the fruit we receive and pass on and face in our time. It is always changing, growing, nurturing. It is our task as human beings. Except for you, Christophe. You aren't changing. You've stopped. You're not needed anymore. Couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough. But someday, I'll know what law is. And I'll fight to change it if I have to. I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as the trial of Vera Misham accused of murdering her father, the painter Drew Misham. However, several other incidents were reviewed and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision. Jurists of the court, for the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter. This ends the trial for the case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Misham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided to each of you to input your decisions. That is all. Please, wait! Yes, Jurist number 6? There's something in the Jurist handbook here. Persons involved with the case may not be jurists. That is correct. I've looked into all your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of the case. With the development of the case? I see. Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts. Make your decision in the case against Vera Misham. Wait, was that what the Mason system thing was? I'm very confused. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely, judge well. But then, why did he do the forgery in the first place? He wouldn't have had to do the forgery if it... Oh wow, we choose, huh? But what... I mean, we have his motive for killing the Mishams, but what was his motive for the forgery? Like, okay, he was Shoddy's attorney prior. Yeah. Not guilty. Oh my fucking god. Jurist number 6 was Lamoir. The bracelet. What? And so a verdict was reached on October 9th, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the Jurist System. Innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, special witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than ever heard before or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10th, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial. In the intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Misham opened her eyes. At Hickfield, ill. Vera, I'm so glad Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too, and proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about, what if Vera... Hey now, don't you start crying too. Sorry you had to see us like this. He's smiling. Vera? Thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails. No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm. Vera, when I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be a part of the world. To see things with your own eyes. Looks like that poison had some effect after all. I mean, yeah, it almost killed her. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life. And almost her. I knew you'd pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you. No, really, it's okay. Aww. Oh, look, it's me. I love it. Thanks. Is that me? She really captured your essence, Apollo. Well, I think so at least. It reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is? The other lawyer? Oh, you mean Daddy. Except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that. He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier. You mean that stack of videos? Is Wright finished watching them all? You know, I knew my real daddy was alive. Huh? I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom. You did what? How? Apollo, you saw it. I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away. We may not meet again for some time, Trucy. But know this, I will be watching, and one day I shall return. You're the next Grammary after all. Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he? It's okay. Phoenix is my daddy now, even if he can't really play the piano. That he can't. Oh, and I've got you too, even if your voice is kind of loud sometimes. Glad I made your list. Hey, come to think of it, where is Daddy? The one who can't play. Do you know Apollo? I think he said he had to meet someone. I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy. Oh, Trucy? Yes, Vera? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Sir Hat, was it? Oh, he's not being knighted. Yet. Here goes. Do us an impersonation, Mr. Hat. Objection. Not loud enough. And I like Miss Magic Underwear better anyway. Why? That's Magic Panties, Apollo. Oh. So, your memories returned. Mr. Wright, was this all a part of your plan, too? I don't know what you're talking about. When I lost my memory, I was reborn as Lemoire. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurists. You're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy. Of course it is a happy thing. For so long I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children. I'm so proud of them. This too, I think, is thanks to you. Are you going to tell them? They do not know? Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings. Wait, so how much of the Mason system did he show them? He would have needed to... What? Wait, so that all wasn't for them for the trial? It was just to help her regain her memory? I will go to them when the time is right. Until then, Don't worry, I'll take care of them for you. You're very important to me too. A little annoying at times, but still. Have to keep an eye on her at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels on the inside. Your bracelet. Yes? I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago now in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. Two fates destined to intertwine, and I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that. Such a small thing, that bullet, yet it tore who I was away. "10 years ago, during a simple rehearsal. It was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That's why I left the troupe, my family. Now my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright." Speaking of miracles, Vera Mission regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are. It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes a life is taken. Sometimes a life is spared. You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something worth living for. And that's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. I've still got a long way to go in this power of mine. Well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Alright, Danganronpa. Yeah, I think I'll keep at this lawyer thing for a while. Oops, training time. Gotta go. Cords of steel. Here comes justice.
Objection!
Huh. I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about Troop Grammary. Trucy's on the case. Now that I have this, thanks to Daddy. Trucy Grammary? Frankly, I got my doubts, but Hat Grammary? Now that'll pack 'em in. Huh. It's not every day you get to trial that rocks harder than one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The Governors are breaking up. The news clothes are run on tissues at supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session. I'm just gonna let these credit scenes play out. Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Really? Not everything's sorted and I've got time on my hands. Maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam again. I guess he did the latter because if memory serves correctly, based on what little I know of the games that came after this, they were focusing on Phoenix Wright again? It was like they tried to have a new pro tag, but just ended up going back to the, well, Snackoos, and I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding. Ah, the power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe. Yeah, she had an idea while munching on Snackoos, okay. Yeah, I've got some words to say. I'm just waiting for these credits. Like when it's safe to talk. Oh Lord, you. In an unlikely event you are wanting to face a Borscht Bowl Club, the only thing colder in the restaurant is borscht. Duh, but if greater challenge is being required. Then come to the hideout. You know who to ask for. That was not a Russian accent. But yeah, that last trial was interesting. I liked some of the concepts there, but it also seemed like they kind of booked themselves into a corner. So, Kentucky Pastries getting back to his Eastern roots, spread the culture and all. Yo, boss, culture time. This is how we write root, capiche? But we're still about giving back to the people. Yo, boss, PR time. And this is how we write people, alright? Not that Waki's paying any attention. Ooh, kids. Is that a Japanese joke that's going over my head, like with the kanji that is there? Bizoi, Chinese characters on cake was a fly idea like 3,000 years ago. Believe that. Make you want to make it today, you gotta keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's why I made the OG cracker, for real. I know it don't look like no cracker, G. What you want me to call it, the OG muffin? What? Okay, but yeah, oh my god. I don't know where all this talk about food is coming from. You ask me, there's only one food and that's noodles. Noodles forever. I got a new one too. See, this time I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. Why pretend? Eldon's noodles is about the salt. Salt forever! Just getting everybody from the Eldoon trial that was just like kind of there. You're not in prison? My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me unequivocal adoration in my department. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler, and now Wesley Sticky Hands. I forgot what voice I gave you. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko. Reporting, yes, curiosity is a sickness, and I'm the cure. You are a sicko, alright. Cue sicko mode. Oh my god. I don't know how to thank you for all you've done. Light has returned to my life, and with it, joy. I may have lost years, but I have gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song. Wait, so she didn't go to her freaking kids? Yet? Like... Okay. Oh my god. Brushel here. Back on the beat with another interview. Eh? How do I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalist confidence in mint condition. End quote. Boo. Boo that man. Boo, I say. I decided to keep painting. Originals only, of course. Suppose I have to see a bit of the world outside to find what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you. I cannot hit the Mekon voice right now. Are we done with this so I can give some thoughts? Aww. Okay. So yeah, what the hell was that last trial? Like I was sort of getting to, I liked the concept of it, but the breaking of the fourth wall and like just the investigation in general. So the fact that some parts of it were shared with Apollo but others weren't, And then what's the point of some of that evidence? Like, unless I'm forgetting something, we never really got the answer as to why the sketches on the paintings were from the previous trials. I don't know, it just seemed like parts of that trial were kind of rushed. Like they wanted to go with the whole overarching story thing, but some parts of it just didn't seem all that fleshed out. And they kind of had to rush things along to sort of like wrap up as quickly as possible. I don't know, like, to me, for a game that started off so strong with that first trial, and then the second and third trials were like really solid, and then this one started off with so much promise and intrigue. I don't know, it just feels like a bit of a letdown. Like, I think that final trial might be my least favorite in the series so far. Only because it actively annoyed me. Like, the circus trial in the second game, that one just was boring, but I would honestly rather do that one again than this one. Because at least with that one, it was like the stuff made sense. With this, there's still just a bunch of like loose ends that I know don't get filled in because the series begins to focus on Phoenix Wright again. Instead of Apollo and some of these characters, maybe? I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, like, all in all, I still enjoyed this game, but I don't know, this last trial kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. But regardless, I hope you all enjoyed this game. Or LP, rather. This was the second Patron's Choice LP of the year. And after this, we're about to start up the third one, which is Fee, or Fe. That EA indie game. It looks really cool. I'm looking forward to playing it. So, thank y'all for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time with some more stuff. Goodbye. Hello everybody, it's me, your pal PCC, Post Commentary Cap, and yeah, just a few things before the video actually ends. One, when editing this back, I did see that the motive for the forgery was given, in that Gavin was mad that he got removed or dismissed from the trial because Zach wanted someone to defend him who could beat him in poker, and Gavin was unable to do that, so he felt slighted by Wright and Zach by that, and that's just dumb to me, but hey, whatever, it happened. So yeah, any complaints I had about like, oh, they didn't like say what the whole forgery thing was about, I'm aware. I'm sorry if I was like complaining incessantly about that during this part. I did remove like one bit of me complaining about that because I knew I was in the wrong, but if I missed any other point or if I was complaining about that, I'm sorry. The game did cover that. I still have my just issues with this trial as a whole, but that loose end was tied up. Two, apparently there is a bad ending, which can happen if you choose guilty for Vera instead of not guilty. So I'll let that play now that the trial is over. If I manage to find a video of it. If not, then there will be a second post commentary part where I just say what happens. But yeah, here's the bad ending for Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, and then I will see you all next time. Goodbye.